Day 11, numerical expressions and order of operations and writing algebraic expressions. Order of operations and numerical expressions. With numerical expressions, they contain numbers and operation symbols. So it's just something like 3 times 2 or 4 plus 7. Your order of operations tells you that it's PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So you're going to do your parentheses, then exponents, multiplication or division from left to right, whichever comes first from left to right, and then addition or subtraction, whichever comes first left to right. So if we look at some examples that are not done for us, for 11, it tells us to write the order of operation, write the operation you would perform first. So for A, we have 9 plus 7 times 15 minus 4. So that 7 times 15 is what you would do first. For B, you have 14 divided by 2 plus 16 minus 9. Well, because there's that division, that 14 divided by 2 would come first. For C, you have 11 plus 7 times 6 divided by 3. For this, you would do what's in the parentheses first, which is the 11 plus 7. For D, you have 100 divided by 5 squared plus 15 times 4. So for this one, please, no parentheses. Exponents, yes. You have 5 squared, so that's what you would do first. For 12a, they give us 20 minus 8 divided by 2 times 3. So we want to look at this. Do we have parentheses? No. Do we have exponents? No. Do we have multiplication or division? Yes, you have both. It goes from left to right, so whichever comes first. So you're going to do the negative 8 divided by 2 first, which gives us negative 4. So this is going to be 20 minus 4 times 3. From here, then you have multiplication, which is the negative 4 times 3. So that's 20 minus 12, which gives us 8. For 12b, we have 36 divided by 4 minus 5 plus 3. So no parentheses, no exponents. We do have division, so we'll do the 36 divided by 4 first, which is 9, minus 5 plus 3. Then we have addition and subtraction. We'll go subtraction first. So we do the 9 minus 5, which is 4, plus 3 gives us 7. For C, we have 19 plus 4. 19 plus 4, I think it was times 3 times 5. Times 3 times 5, yes. All right, so 19 plus 4 times 3 times 5. We are going to do the multiplication first from left to right. So we're going to do the 4 times 3, which is 12. So 19 plus 12 times 5. Then we want to do the 12 times 5, which is 60. So that's 19 plus 60, which gives us 79. For D, they give us 14 times 5 plus 6 divided by 5. 6. So 12D, 14 times 5 plus 6 divided by 6. Plus 6 divided by 6. Okay, so we are going to do the multiplication first because it goes from left to right. So 14 times 5, the 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 plus 2 is 7, so that's 70, plus 6 divided by 6. Next, you'll do the division. So the 6 divided by 6 is 1, so that's 70 plus 1, which gives us 71. For 13, it asks us to find the value of each expression. So for A, we're given 9 times the absolute value of negative 8 plus 2 divided by 6. So 13a, with 9 times, parentheses, the absolute value of negative 8 plus 2 divided by 6 plus 2, close the parentheses, divided by 6. Okay, so we're going to start with parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we have the absolute value of negative 8 plus 2. So the absolute value of that negative 8 is 8. So this is going to become 9 times the parentheses 8 plus 2, close parentheses, divided by 6. So now simplify the 8 plus 2, which is 10. So that's 9 times 10 divided by 6. 9 times 10 is 90. Divided by 6. 9 goes into 6 once with 3 left over. 9 goes into 30 15 times. So that's 15. For B, we have parentheses 8 minus 12 times 4 plus 6. Okay, so what's in parentheses will go first. 8 minus 12 is negative 4 times 4 plus 6. From here, we're going to do the negative 4 times 4, which is 16, negative 16, plus 6 is negative 10. For C, they give us 45 divided by parentheses 3 times 5, close parentheses, plus 5. So we're going to do what's in the parentheses first. So the 3 times 5 is 15. So that's 45 divided by 15 plus 5. Next, we'll do the 45 divided by 15, which is 3, plus 5 is 8. For D, they give us parentheses 4 plus 3 squared times 3 minus 1. So 4 plus 3 is 7 squared times 3 minus 1. Then we'll do our exponents. That 7 squared is 49 times 3 minus 1. The 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Minus 1 gives us 146. For 14a, we have 48 divided by the square root of 64 minus 23 minus 13 all over 2. Okay. So, parentheses, no. Exponents, no. We do have that radical. We do need to simplify that radical. So that's 8. So it's going to be 48 divided by 8 minus 23 minus 13 over 2. The 23 minus 13 we can also do to simplify that fraction. So this is going to be 48 divided by 8 minus 10 over 2, which is 5. So 48 divided by 8 minus 5. We'll do the 48 divided by 8 first, which is 6 minus 5 is 1. For 14b, we are given 22 divided by the square root of 121 times parentheses negative absolute value of 4 minus 7, close parentheses. Yes. Okay. So we're going to simplify what's in the parentheses first. Inside the parentheses, you have the absolute value of 4 minus 7. That gives us negative 3. So this turns into 22 divided by the square root of 121 times parentheses a negative absolute value of negative 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is 3. So this is 22 divided by the square root of 121 times negative 3. You can simplify the square root of 121, which is 11. So that's 22 divided by 11 times negative 3. 22 divided by 11 gives us 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. For C, we are given 53 plus 5 squared all over 2 to the 4th power minus 2 times 5. 2 to the 4th power minus 2 times 5, all multiplied by 3. Okay, so 53 plus 5 squared. That 5 squared is 25, so that's going to turn into 53 plus 25, all over 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2 is 16, minus 2 times 5. This is all being multiplied by 3. So we want to do the 2 times 5 in the denominator. We can add the 53 and the 25 if we wanted to. That's going to become 78 over 16 minus 10 all times 3. The 16 minus 10 is 6, so that's 78 over 6 times 3. 6 goes into 7 once with 1 left over. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So it's 13 times 3, which is 39. For D, they give us 7 squared plus 9 times 3 all over 24 minus 11 times 2. 4 minus 11 times 2. So from here, we're going to do the 7 squared, which is 49, plus 9 times 3, all over 24 minus 11 times 2. I'm going to do the 11 times 2, which is negative 22. So it's 24 minus 22. From here, on the top, I can do the 9 times 3, which is 27. So it's 49 plus 27, all over 24 minus 22. The 49 plus 27, 7 plus 9 is 16, carry the 1, 3 plus 4 is 7, and then the 24 minus 22 is 2, so that's 76 over 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times with 1 left over, 2 goes into 16 8 times, so it's 38. For 15, it asks us to write each sentence using parentheses to make it true. So for A, we have 40 divided by 5 minus 2 times 3 is 18. Let's just start with the 40 minus 5. If we did 40 minus 5 first, that would give us 8. 8 minus 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So that would be 8 minus 6. That's not 18. So we're not going to put parentheses there. If we put parentheses around the 5 minus 2, that gives us 3. 3 doesn't go into 40 evenly, so we wouldn't do that. If we did the 2 times 3, that's 6. So we would have 40 divided by 5, which is 8 minus 2, minus 6. That's still not what we're looking for. So let me erase all of this and see if we could redo this. Okay. Okay, so let's try this a different way. We don't need 2 numbers within a parenthesis, so let's try the 40 divided by 5 minus 2 first. All right, so if we did 40 divided by 5, that's 8, minus 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18, so that works. For B, we have 72 divided by 7 plus 2 times 5 is equal to 40. Now, think about this. You cannot divide 72 by 7. However, 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 does go into 72 evenly. That gives us 8. 8 times 5 is, in fact, 40. For C, we have 8 minus 3 times 9 plus 2. It was equal to 55. So we're going to have to get something like 5 and 11. Well, 8 minus 5, or 8 minus 3 is 5, and 9 plus 2 is 11. So if we did 5 times 11, that gives us 55. For D, we have 18 plus 9 times 3 divided by 9 minus 2 cubed. That 2 cubed is really 8. So think about it this way. We would do 9 times 3 first, which is 27. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Then 18 plus 3 is 21 minus 8. Nope, that's not 1. Okay, so if we did let's try putting parentheses here. 18 plus 9 gives us 27. Then we would have times 3 divided by 9 minus 8 should equal 1. All right, so from here we would do the 27 times 3, which is 81, divided by 9 minus 8 equals 1. 81 divided by 9 is 9, minus 8 is equal to 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. 1 is equal to 1, so this is where our parentheses should be. Your next part is working with writing algebraic expressions. When you write algebraic expressions, you're working with variables. Variables are letters that represent a number. With these expressions that have these letters in them, they're called algebraic expressions because you have a letter that's representing a number. So that variable is in the expression. If we look at example 9, it tells us to write an expression for each. A says 15 times a number n. So you want to think here, it says times a number, so we're multiplying. We can write this as 15n or 15 times n. For B, it says await W divided by 8. So W divided by 8 or W over 8. It's the same exact thing. For C, it says 3 years less than Kate's age A. Less than means that you're taking 3 from something. So that's A minus 3. For D, let's write this a different way. A minus 3. For D, we have 11 points more than Don's grade G. So more than means that we're adding 11 to something. So that's G plus 11. For 10, it tells us to use the variable n to translate each phrase into an algebraic expression. So A says 2/3 of a number. So that's 2/3 n. B says 70 divided by a number. So that's 70 divided by n, or 70 over n. C is a number divided by 16, so 16 divided by n, or a number divided by 16, so n divided by 16, or n over 16. Oops, let's try to change the color. N divided by 16. All right, and then for D, it says the product of a number and negative 10, so that's negative 10 times n, or n times negative 10. 11 says to write each expression algebraically, use the variable x. So A is 7 times the sum of a number and 3. So 7 times the sum of a number and 3. So that's x plus 3. For B, we have 1 less than 2 times a number. 2 times a number is 2n. If we're taking 1 away from that, that's 2n minus 1. For C, it says the difference between a number and 5 divided by 8. Difference between a number and 5 is x minus 5, and then divide that by 8. This should be x. For D, it says the sum of a number and 4, so that's x plus 4, multiplied by the difference between the number and 6, so that's x plus 6. The difference, I'm sorry, x minus 6. For 12, we're writing a verbal phrase for each. So for A, it's 12 plus, or sorry, n plus 12, so that's a number plus 12, or 12 more than a number. For B, it's 20 minus B, so that's a number less than 20. C, you have negative 5 times W plus 4, so we can do the sum of a number W and 4 multiplied by 5. For D, we have 100 divided by X plus Y, so we could do 100 divided by the sum of two numbers. For 13, it says Nicole is Y years old. Write an expression for each. Twice as old as Nicole would be 2Y. 3 years older than Nicole would be Y plus 3. Half Nicole's age would be Y over 2, or Y divided by 2. or 1/2 times y. D says 5 years younger than Nicole, so that's y minus 5. For 14, it says Javon sells plants for $D a piece. Write an expression for each. A is the cost of 5 plants, so that's 5D. B is 1/3 the cost of 10 plants, so that's 1/3 times D, 10D, I'm sorry. And then C says $3 more than the cost of 4 plants, so that's 4D plus 3. And then D is double the cost of 9 plants, so that's 2 times 9D. For our practice number 1, it says to evaluate 23 plus 15 minus 6 times 3. So we're going to do this negative 6 times 3 first. So that's going to be 23 plus 15 minus 2. Oh, sorry, minus 18. So from here, 23 plus 15, 3 plus 5 is 8. The 3 comes from the 2 and the 1. For subtracting 18 from that, we get 20. So A is our answer for that one. For number 2, we're evaluating 72 divided by 2 cubed plus 75 minus 17 over 7. So first we can do the 2 cubed, which gives us 8. So we're going to have 72 divided by 8 plus the 45 minus 17 gives us 28 over 7. So now we can do the 72 divided by 8, which is 9. And the 28 divided by 7 is 4. So 9 plus 4 is 13. For 3, the value of 6 squared divided by 2 times 9 plus 3 is equal to, well, 6 squared is 36. Divided by 2 times 9 plus 3. 36 divided by 2 would be next. So you would have 18 times 9 plus 3. 18 times 9 gives us 162. Plus 3 is 165, so D. For 4, we have 40 divided by 2 plus 5 minus the square root of 4. You can do the 40 divided by 2 first, which is 8, or sorry, in the parentheses first. So 5 minus the square root of 4. 40 divided by 2 plus 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. So that's 40 divided by 2 plus 3. 40 divided by 2 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. For 5, we have 12 squared minus 9 times 6 plus 18 over 10 minus 7. So we can do the 12 squared, that's 144, minus 9 times 6 plus 18 over 3. The negative 9 times 6 would come next. The negative 9 times 6 is 54, so that's 144 minus 54 plus 6. The 144 minus 54 would then come next, which is 90. Plus 6 is 96, so D. 6 says, which expression is equal to 2? For F, we have 24 divided by 2 plus 2 times 5, so this would be 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6 times 5 is 30. That's not it. For G, we have 24 divided by 2, which is 12, plus 10, which is 22. So that's not it. For H, 24 divided by 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14, times 5 is not 2. So hopefully J is the right answer. We have 24 divided by 2 plus 2 times 5, so it's 2 plus 10, which is 12, which gives us 2. So J is our answer. 7 asks which expression is equal to 1. For A, we have 4 cubed, which is 64 divided by 8 divided by 2 plus 6. 64 divided by 8 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10, so that's not right. For B, 2 plus 6 is 8. 64 divided by 8 is 8. divided by 8 is 1. B is our answer. 8 says admission to a state fair is $5 and each ride costs an additional $2, right? Which expression shows the cost of administration to the fair in 7 rides? So that's $5 plus 2 times the 7 rides. So 2 times 7, or 2 times 7 plus 5, there we go. So H. 9 says each box of candy contains 24 caramels and 18 creams. Which expression shows the total number of candies in 12 boxes? So that's 12 times 24 plus 18, which is B. 10 says for which expression would the first step to be to multiply? F, you would divide first. G, you would add first. H, you can do the square root first. And then J would be to multiply first. For our second practice for number 1, it says which is an algebraic expression? Algebraic expression contains variables, which are letters, so that's C. For 2, it says which expression means 9 more than a number? That's n plus 9, so G. 3 says which expression means a number decreased by 10? So that's n minus 10, that's C. For 4, it says which expression means the sum of twice a number and 5? That's 2n plus 5, so J. 5 says which expression means 7 less than a number divided by 4? 7 less than a number is n minus 7, then divided by 4, so B. For 6, we have the expression 3n minus 2 could be used to translate which expression? 3n minus 2, 2 less than the product of 3 and a number. That looks good, so F is our answer. 7 says the expression negative 50 divided by n plus 4 could be used to translate which expression? Because the n plus 4 is the sum, you're looking for the sum of a number and 4, then divided by 50 would be the division of the negative 50 on the outside, and that's not right. So look at C. Negative 50 divided by the sum of a number and 4. That's correct. 8 says Gina sells bracelets for $4 a piece. Which expression shows how much Gina will earn if she sells B bracelets? Just 4 times B, so G.